A championship ring or premiership ring is a ring presented to members of winning teams in North American professional sports leagues and college tournaments. Championship rings are mostly confined to North American sports, since only one championship trophy is awarded by the league to the winning team. Championship rings are distributed as a memento for the players and team officials to keep for themselves to symbolize their victory. Winners' medals are not awarded in North American professional sports, in contrast to Olympic sports and European Club Association football tournaments such as the Premier League and UEFA Champions League. Championship rings are distributed by and paid for by the winning team, although some leagues may partially subsidize the cost, in contrast to medals which are awarded and paid for by the league or competition governing body. Championship rings are typically made of yellow or white gold with diamonds and other precious stones. They usually include the team name, team logo, and the championship number, usually indicated in Roman numerals for the NFL Super Bowl wins. Championship ring policies differ between the four major professional leagues. NHL and MLB owners pay for the cost of the rings. The NFL pays up to $5,000 per ring for up to 150 rings for teams that win the Super Bowl. Teams can distribute any number of rings but must pay for any additional costs, and may offer lesser rings at their discretion. The NBA standardized its championship ring from 1969 through 1983. Presently, the winning team selects its own design, and the league covers the cost of the rings. The winning team can typically present rings to whomever they choose, including usually, but not limited to, players, active roster, or injured, coaches, trainers, executives, personnel, and general staff. In the NHL, since the Stanley Cup has limited space and stringent criteria, rings are often presented to current players who may not qualify to have their name engraved in the cup. Some teams have also been known to give rings to former players who are not officially part of the winning team, including those who have been part of the roster for part of the title-winning season but traded away or way before the playoffs. A common practice among MLB teams, where Arthur Rhodes, Benji Molina, and Lonnie Smith played in the World Series against a team they played for earlier in the season, guaranteeing them World Series rings regardless of the series outcome. A recent trend over the last 15-20 years has been lesser rings awarded to front office staff. These are commonly called B and C level rings, and are smaller, and contain fewer diamonds or contain faux diamonds. The first instance of this was the Redskins Super Bowl Roman 17 ring, when many in the front office received rings that were not solid gold and contained cubic zirconia stones. When Tampa Bay won Super Bowl Roman 37, the players and coaches received rings with a diamond-centered Lombardi trophy. Some staff received rings with a metal Lombardi trophy in real diamonds surrounding the trophy, and the C-level ring did not contain any diamonds. The Toronto Raptors had 5 tiers of rings created to commemorate their 2019 NBA championship, with 20 top-tier rings worth a reported $100,000 CAD or $150,000 CAD each made for players and key staff, while 20 the World 5th-tier replica rings worth around $20 CAD each were distributed to the audience at Scotiabank Arena during the championship banner-raising ceremony at the 2019-20 season. The ring manufacturer also makes replica rings, pendants, and other accessories derived from the championship ring design for sale to the general public. Balfour of Attleboro, Massachusetts, and Jostens of Minneapolis, Minnesota are the 2 companies that have produced the majority of championship rings for the 4 major professional sports leagues. Tiffany and Company and Intergold, now a Jostens subsidiary, compete with Balfour, Barron, and Jostens in the design and manufacturing of championship rings. Tiffany has been gaining momentum with NFL teams, having made the Buccaneers Roman 37, Giants Roman 42, Saints Roman 44. Recently, newcomer Barron Championship Rings has gained momentum in the professional championship ring market, having designed and manufactured the 2016 NBA champions Cleveland Cavaliers rings, at the time the heaviest NBA championship ring ever made, weighing in at 165 grams and 105 pennyweights, and the 2019 NBA champions Toronto Raptors rings, presently the largest ever. The Montreal Hockey Club ordered the first championship rings for its players after winning the 1893 Stanley Cup Championship, ordering rings resembling wedding bands with 2 crossed hockey sticks. Although several NHL teams ordered championship rings in the early 20th century, Stanley Cup winning teams ordering championship rings did not become an annual custom in the NHL until the 1960s. The first World Series ring was given to the members of the New York Giants following their victory in the 1922 World Series over the New York Yankees, when the Yankees won the 1923 World Series. Players were given a commemorative pocket watch. The Yankees first gave rings to their players following the 1927 World Series. Rings became an annual tradition in the 1930s, as every World Series winning team has given rings to its players since 1932. Prior to the first World Series championship ring, baseball players in the early 20th century often requested other items in place of rings, including cufflinks and tie bar. Prior to the 1922 World Series, players on the World Series winning team were given keepsakes, such as a pin or pocket watch. Frankie Krosty and Tommy Henrich requested shotguns from the Yankees following World Series championships. Grover Cleveland Alexander reportedly pawned his 1926 World Series ring. The earliest championship rings for major professional sports were relatively plain, featuring only a few diamonds or other precious stones in setting or mounting. However, since then they have been increasing larger and more expensive with more intricate designs, especially from the 1990s onward. So a typical championship ring now contains over 100 diamonds. Besides the mounting, diamonds will be placed on the bezel, shoulders, and even the hoop of the ring, which would be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The increasing value and complexity of championship rings parallels the North American major professional sports leagues' growth in businesses and viewership, along with athletes' increasing salaries and endorsements in tandem with team owners' increasing ability and willingness to pay for more intricate rings. Genuine championship rings are popular sports memorabilia or collectibles. They can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Dave Meggett is known to have placed his ring for sale on eBay. 2 Super Bowl rings from the 1970 Steelers sold on eBay for over $32,000 apiece in mid-28. Patriots safety Gerald Cherry raffled his ring from Super Bowl Roman 36 in November 28 to benefit several charities working to help children in Africa. Tight end Shannon Sharpe, meanwhile, gave his first Super Bowl ring to his brother Sterling, who had his career cut short by injury. In 2011, a Super Bowl ring belonging to Steve Wright, a lineman for the Green Bay Packers in the 1960s, sold for over $73,000 at auction. 3 Super Bowl rings belonging to former Raiders great Ray Guy brought over $96,000 at auction. In 2012, Lawrence Taylor's son sold his father's 1990 Super Bowl ring for more than $250,000. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.